of my talk show that I used to do in Final Fantasy XIV that was nameless until today. We are calling it Bootleg VR. So today, our first interview participant, the first bootleg sacrifice. It's not that bad. Don't worry. you're good. Will be the amazing and wonderful Njna Grimsdottr, who is, and I do this with as much deference, like I said earlier, that I can, the capital THE Bunny Queen. For those of you who are in the Final Fantasy audience, yes, she's a Vera. Yes, she's in Final Fantasy. She's been dancing.
Trapped in the European servers. Please help. Please help. I'm trapped in the European servers.
Send help. We need transport immediately.
I have too many full retainers. Too many retainers. Please help.
I'm supposed to help with. I'm so sorry. And laughing too.
I know.
Njna has been here, to my understanding, for 5 years and has recently had their 5-year dance anniversary here in VRChat on stream. So has a lot of experience and I imagine quite a lot to share about both dancing and the scene writ large. Like it's going to be an amazing perspective to start Bootleg off with, and I am incredibly excited and thankful that you wanted to come on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, friends, we'll start in a second, but I want to say that audience questions are definitely encouraged. So if you got a question, definitely drop it in. I'll try my best to address them as soon as possible in a way that's not going to interrupt a current question or something. And the other thing, I just wanted to give a shout out to Njna for both of us collabing on Final Fantasy sets, where Njna has come in on my stream and will be coming to Transfest on Saturday at 6 p.m. EST, because it's been really fun, and I'm really excited to have you at Transfest. Zion was super excited when I asked.
Fans.
Oh my god, that's that's amazing! You had those so ready. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, thank you so much for coming. Njna, tell us about yourself. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a trans woman, and I'm quite old. I'm over 40, and I will tell you that. I'm not going to elaborate more than that. But I've wanted to dance since I was a child, and didn't really have a chance to. Just wasn't really something I could do. I grew up in northern Minnesota. Went to college in St. Cloud and stuff for computer science and art. Finished that and then went off to California to find a job during the tech bubble. I was there for a while and got a job, and during that was awesome. You know, they paid off cars and paid rent for you and all kinds of crazy stuff that never would happen now. And did that for a while, and then came back to Minnesota after that and lived there for a while, and then got bored. I was running my own company doing tech support, or doing tech for a lot of municipalities like the police department and the fire department in Minnetonka, Minnesota. And got bored doing that, and found there was a job opening in the Netherlands, and took off and worked there for 13 years. And then a lot of horrible stuff happened, and I am back in the United States now, and we'll just leave it at that. There's more info out there if you want to find it, but we don't need to talk about it. But yeah, I'm back in the U.S. now, but about 5 years ago, when I transitioned, I decided I had found VR, and I got VR before I decided I was going to transition. I'd wanted to transition since I was in my 20s, but stuff came up and didn't happen. And got VR and started dancing, playing synth riders. And I remember the first time playing synth riders, and I was hadn't really done VR stuff. I just I was building a PC and had some extra money because the prices on stuff happened to go down at that time, which, believe it or not, was the thing that used to happen. Prices went down. And I got Index when it very first came out, and had never used VR or anything before that. And went in and played synth riders, and I remember I was dancing to the Lindsey Sterling's Underground, and had this. I was dancing and moving and the lights and everything, and I have synesthesia, and so that's another story I'll tell you later. But I was dancing in the lights, and I remember dancing during that song and just the movement and everything. It was just so overwhelming. I had like this like endorphin rush, I guess. I like started crying. I mean, it was one of the most like intense feelings I've ever had. Well, I was like, I remember thinking, it's like, I want that. I want more of that. That was amazing. And it's like, and ever since I've just danced. And it's like, I'd wanted to dance for a long time, but I just had no idea it could be like that. And so after that, I decided I made YouTube videos for a little while with synthwriters and Beat Saber. And then my friends in synthwriters community decided to sort of convince me I should try streaming. And that was like in 2019. And I started streaming a little bit, streaming my synthwriters, playing gameplay and a little bit of Beat Sabers here and there. And it went really well, and I enjoyed it, but I found that it was the dancing, and that was it was very structured. You had to follow. I mean, you have to follow the orbs, and you have to do things like that. And I liked the slower songs because there was space between the bricks and the orbs and stuff when you're doing that. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I was for a while in synthwriters, I had first place in all of the expert level maps in the whole game until it got over 100 maps, and I couldn't keep up with it anymore, and I sort of let it go. But I was pretty relevant in that community for quite some time. In fact, when I first came out as trans publicly, the synthwriters community was the ones who helped me do that. They were the ones who supported me and stood by me and came to my stream when I announced everything and came out publicly and all that stuff. And I owe them a lot. There's a lot of really kind people in that environment, in that community. And still to this day, I talk to them on occasion. I don't play as much as I used to, but it was a really good experience for me. And then I wandered into VRChat, and I'd already sort of decided I was going to transition, but I wasn't sure when. There's a lot of complications at home, like there always is with everybody who transitions. And I was in VRChat with a bunch of guy friends when I first decided to, and hadn't told anybody I was going to transition at that time. Close, other than in the synthwriters community, like a lot of trans people, the people in VR knew, but no one outside knew. And I was in VR with some friends who weren't VR friends, just trying out VRChat because I hadn't been in here before. And I remember coming in and having a female avatar on and seeing myself in the mirror, and just that was the last time I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. It was like the first time I felt like I saw myself at all, and I saw some aspect of myself, and I just couldn't let it go at that point. And I think like 2 days after that, I mean, my friends came back and found me sitting on the floor sobbing, and I had to explain that. And I'm like, I hurt myself. I'm like, I hit myself on the, I'm like, yeah, because it hadn't come out yet. And I really, I'm like, yes, I've decided to become a woman. It's like, I wasn't really ready to just blurt that out to my friends yet. And so yeah, I decided to go forward with it, and just went on with that, and came out publicly really soon after that. And just when I just decided I was going to do it, came out at work, came out with my family, came out with my friends, came out online, all within like 2 or 3 weeks of each other. And it all went really well for like the first year. Everyone was very supportive, and you're such a strong person for doing this, all that kind of stuff you always hear as a trans person. And then everyone slowly ghosted me over time. I ended up losing my job, getting pushed out of my job. My family is disconnected from me and is all gone, both biological and my family I had. All my friends disappeared, and the thing is, on one hand, it's fine, it's what it is, but on the other hand, it's like I made a lot of, I have a family online now, and I have a lot of friends that I consider very dear, more so than I ever had before. I didn't have a lot of friends. I've always been fairly alone most of the time, and I don't mind it most of the time, but it's like, yeah. And then dancing, so I just started dancing. After that, I got started dancing in VRChat. I would play music and just dance on stream. And I always purposely avoided watching other dancers. I didn't ever want to learn a style or learn steps or anything like that, because I wanted my dance to be my stuff, and it's like I wanted it to be. I mean, yeah, of course, over the years, I mean, I've watched movies and seen. So I'm not like I haven't ever seen anyone dance, but I never took any choreography lessons or watched choreography or anything, or dance, specific dance videos. It was all stuff I saw from when I was a kid. I saw 80s music videos, and I saw 90s music videos, and I saw Step Up and all the dance movies, and Flashdance and Fame, and I mean those movies that those are formative movies for me. And my style of dancing, especially because I do a lot of camera work in my dancing, I really try to do little music videos of the dance. And so I sort of do, I guess it's sort of interpretive dancing on some level. It's freestyle dancing on some level. There's a dance style called I think it's not eclectic, ecstatic. Ecstatic dance is where you basically just let the music move you, and however you move, you move. There's no like it's sort of more of like trance state dancing where you just sort of let your mind clear. And I don't know. I've just been honing that little by little. I am not good at choreography. I just don't do it. And so I've always freestyle danced, and I just make it up on the fly as I go. And yeah, and that's what I've been doing for like the last 4.5, 5 years now. I did lap dancing for the first, probably once I started dancing, I started lap dancing at first. I did stage dancing for a while at a lap club for about 2 months, and then decided I wanted to try lap dancing and found it very empowering. Because it's like as a dancer, you're sort of external validation is a lot. External validation means everything when you're a dancer on some level. I mean, I enjoy that my dancing is getting better, but there's nothing better than having a stranger tell you they enjoyed your dancing, as opposed to, I mean, friends are always supportive and but they're always biased, and it's hard not to take that as just being a bias, just them trying to be nice. When a stranger comes up to you at some point and says, "I really enjoyed your dancing," that that can make me happy for a week. I mean, that's like it's a big deal. It's a big deal to hear that. And so I did lap dancing for a while because it was more intimate style dancing, because you were doing a single performance for a single person. And I don't do floor work or anything like that. I always did a little mini I would dance to the music. I would dance to the song. I try and perform the song to the person with the lyrics or the story of the lyrics. And so I was always sort of an anomaly at lap clubs. And I enjoyed it. I had fun. People enjoyed my dancing there. I did it till just recently here when I moved back to the U.S. When I moved back, I lost my insurance, so I don't have my ADD meds. And so I've been off my ADD meds now for like 3 or 4 months, which is like I've never adulted off meds. I've been on my ADD meds since I was 19, and like I said, I'm in my over 40 now. And so adulting without my meds is an experience. And so I was finding that I was missing songs. I was not getting stuff done on time. I was not getting avatar changes done in time I needed to do them. I was missing events. Like I'd sign up for things and just forget I signed up. And yeah, so I stopped doing that, and I've been exclusively go-go dancing for probably the last like year or so, or not year, probably 4 months now, 5 months, because I stopped right when I moved to the U.S. About 4 or 5 months now, and yeah, been going pretty well. I've been doing something called stream hosting now. In all the VR underground worlds, they're starting to have secondary screens, and so what I do is I stream my dancing on stream, and it's shown on screens in the world. With the DJs have the main screen up behind them, and then there's secondary screens in the world that show my camera work while I'm flying, my camera work while I'm dancing in the venue also, which is really fun because it's like I get to show off my camera skills and my dancing, and then for people who can't see my avatar, because I usually wear heavy avatars, so a lot of people like on Quest or have a lower end PC, it's troublesome for them to see dancers a lot of times. And so the goal of stream hosting really is to allow people who can't have all the people turned on in the venue, they can watch on the camera, those other screens around the world and see what's going on in the world, while even if they're there presently in VR, but they can't turn everything on. It lets them see what the world looks like, from a high-end PC with a camera flying around. So, sorry, that was very long-winded. Yes, all that.
Wow, I have so many questions. That's amazing, though.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I want to start with the synesthesia.
Okay.
Can you describe, well, first, I guess, for those in the room who don't know what it is, what that experience is like, and how that computes to your dancing in VR?
For me, I thought I didn't know it was a thing, and honestly, until probably 5 or 6 years ago, like right after I started VR, and what happened was I was sitting talking with one of my friends about a song, and I'm like, that is the purplest song I think I've ever heard. And my friend's like, "What did you just say?" Like like purple does a very purple song, like all the colors and everything. And they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I tried explaining to him what it was, and they're like, "You need to go look up synesthesia." And then I went and looked up, and I'm like, oh my god, I swear, my entire life, I just thought that's how it was. It just never came up in conversation to talk about, what you're seeing when you're listening to music. And so what happens when I hear music, tonality causes auras for me normally, and toned beats cause like almost neon shapes on some level floating in that aura. They're very light. Like in this room in here, I can like if there's music, there's not right now, but if there's music playing, have a hard time picking it out a lot. But in like a really dark room, it's pretty. I mean, like a lot of times that's why I dance. A lot of times you'll see I close my eyes when I'm dancing. And so what I do is there's certain kinds of music I have a hard time dancing to because it'll cause me headaches, like really repetitive, like hardstyle, where it's like that that causes like a white aura, and so I get like this almost like a vignette effect, like a white going like this constantly, and I end up getting my headaches from it.
No.
pretty badly when the volume's up loud. And so you'll not see me dance to that kind of music a lot. I enjoy the music, I just can't dance to it because it's too much for me. But yeah, what I do is see the shapes, and that's why you see me all the time flow dancing. I use flow chains and stuff like that. And really what I'm doing most of the time is, besides trying to perform the music and do you know what position, I'm actually following the shapes I'm seeing. So my hands are I'm actually following the shapes in my vision and connecting the shapes. So I'm just, and yeah, it's I don't really know how to say whether it's good or bad. I just don't know what it's like without it. It's just always been a part of me, and like I said, I thought everybody had it, and so it's not incredibly bright. It's not annoying. Voices don't get it. I've had some people when they sing. It's a very specific range of singer. Like sometimes like tenors and I'm not sure what the lower range female singers. So mid-range male singers and lower range female singers will make it go once in a while, but it's very rare to have vocals cause it. And so even someone, when they're like singing, just a person making notes, it doesn't happen. It requires a lot more depth of the music. It might be happening, I guess, if I close my eyes completely and sat in the dark room, maybe it's there. It's just very dim. It takes music, and it takes a lot of, it takes full spectrum audio usually to cause it for me. And yeah, and like when I started playing, the reason I noticed it, I mean, after somebody told me what it was, it really helped when I was playing Synth Riders and Beat Saber. I never really understood that it was tied to the music, because at first I just thought it was just all sound. It never occurred to me, because I never really listened to a lot of music. Was always a background thing for me. I just never really sat down and listened to music per se. I just didn't have a lot of favorite artists. And during my 20s and 30s, I listened to music when I was younger, but then hence my Bon Jovi fetish. But yeah, it's like so it's like when I listen to music, it's like when I'm playing Beat Saber and stuff like that, it finally occurred to me there was a couple maps that had the backgrounds. And on the beat of the music, the triangles and squares and stuff would flash, and I was like, oh my god, that looks just like... And then it occurred to me, I was like, oh my god, it's tied to the music, because I just thought it was just audio. I didn't realize it was like beat associated. But now that I've danced to so many, especially in here, in VRChat dancing, I've danced with so many genres of music now, I sort of learned what genres of music have what colors and tonality and shapes like that and stuff like that, so it's actually sort of nice. It's like I've learned a lot about it in the last couple years, just, now that I know what it is. But yeah, that's that.
That's phenomenal. Honestly, pure fucking magic. Like, I would love to experience that even just for a day. To be able to visually perceive sound. Wow. Especially for a dancer. I can't even imagine. It's really interesting to know that you... Because I was going to ask a little later what it... Like why you spend so much time with the chains and the fans and stuff. And this really puts it in perspective. Yeah. Okay. Next question. I kind of want to explore your branding. What inspired the bunny?
I've had a lot of trauma in my life related to rabbits. When I was very young, I had a pet bunny named Ralph. And I had him in... There's 3 stories. So this is the first one. The first one, I had a pet bunny named Ralph. I think I was 13 or 14 at the time. I lived in a small town in northern Minnesota, and we were going to go shopping in Duluth, which is like an hour away, because that was the nearest mall. And so what I do is a lot of times I had a normal dog cage like that with some stuff in it, and I put the cage outside, because it was summer. I put the cage outside under a pine tree, so it was shaded, and put Ralph in there and some snacks or whatever, and left him in there to be outside, because in the house he didn't get to go outside very often, and I decided I was going to do that today. It was supposed to be nice all day. And I get home after get home late in the evening, and my neighbor comes walking up, and she's like, you need to really do something about that rabbit. And I'm like, I have no idea what she's talking about. She goes, that rabbit's been screaming all afternoon. And I'm like, what? And I go and look, and someone thought because the rabbit was out too far close to the sidewalk, they moved it up on the front porch in the direct sunlight, and Ralph sat in the direct sunlight all after morning and baked in the sun, screaming in horror why he died. And no one came to move him. So yeah, that happened. And then after that, I was out in the woods. About a year after that, I was out with my dog walking in the woods, and got to watch my dog go in the woods and grab a rabbit and basically crush its neck while it was holding it with its teeth. And rabbits, I don't know if anyone's ever heard a rabbit, but when they scream, it sounds like a small child. It's not. It's a horrific sound. It's it's awful. And I got hurt really bad trying to get the rabbit away from my dog, and couldn't, and the rabbit didn't make it, and it was really weird, because it took me about 6 months I was resentful at my dog, which is stupid thinking as a a mature adult. At the time I was pissed off at my dog, not my dog's fault, dog, predator, prey, it's just, it's how it is. And but but that happened, and then after that, I was like, I've just always my whole life then decided I've just gone out of my way. I felt because both those felt I took those as being my fault, because I wasn't taking care of things, and so I've gone out of my way ever since. Every game I play, everywhere I can, I donate a lot of money to like rabbit shelters and things like that. I've gone out of my way to take care of rabbits, and yeah, and so it was like in fact on stream, about 4 years ago, we were playing The Forest in VR, and there's bunnies in that game, and I was super excited because it's a horror game, but there's really pretty graphics, and there's like this bunny comes walking up to me. I'm like, oh my god, this bunny's. I see it. I'm standing on the beach. Our campfire is over here. The bunny comes walking down. I'm looking at the bunny, and I hear my friend up in the woods. I barely make out. Njna, be careful! We're getting near the campfire. I'm like, I couldn't quite make out what he said. And I look down, I'm like I'm reaching down to pet the rabbit, and as I reach down, the rabbit runs straight to the campfire and lights on fire.
No!
The rabbit's on fire, screaming,
no!
running in a circle. I'm having a meltdown on stream. I'm like, oh my god, the rabbit! I'm like chasing after the rabbit. I can hear my friend going, oh my god, because he knows that he knew my rabbit thing. And I'm like, and I get over there, and the fire goes out, and the rabbit's staying still. I'm like, oh thank god the fire went out. I walk over there, and the rabbit's dead on the ground. I pick up this dead rabbit, and then I ended stream right then. I was heartbroken. I was like, oh my god. It was so traumatic. I was like, God, I was like, fuck. I'm sorry, like, damn game. I was like so upset. But anyway, so that's the rabbit branding is all from that, and that's why. And plus, I always played in Final Fantasy. I played in 14. I played an Elzen forever, and so much so that my raid team let me give up my headpiece so I could wear the cosmetic bunny ears that you could get at the Golden Saucer because they didn't have Vera in the game yet. I literally raided for like 6 years with no headgear, so because you couldn't transmog that piece. It was the only bunny ears you could get in the game, and you couldn't transmog it to something else, and so you had to wear it if you wanted it on. And so they literally let me raid with a gear piece short the whole time for like years.
That's precious.
And then so when the VR came out, everyone was like, thank God she can finally get full gear. So yeah, that was and then I didn't get hats. We lost hats, which is like whatever, but that's fine.
That's fine, amigo.
But yeah, so yeah, who needs hats when you have glorious ears? Really. But yeah, so and my name is also sort of tied to it because my name's tied to being a Viera in Final Fantasy, because it's all the Viera backstory and language when you hear them verbally talking, like in Final Fantasy 12 and such. It's all based on Icelandic lore and their language, their accent and everything. And so I knew my mom, when I was gonna be born, if I had been born biologically female, she was gonna name me Njna. And so I wanted something to do with Iceland, and I was gonna use Njna. I knew already. And so I went with Njna, with the Icelandic spelling, which gets me called Ninja all the time. And I will kill everyone who calls me Ninja. I will hunt you all down. I'm not joking. Haha.
I'm scared.
I'm looking at everyone in chat right now. Don't. And yeah, so in fact I had to change my name in here I got rid of the J. Just the other night, I'm in a world, someone was like, hey Ninja, how you doing? I was like so irritated by it because it's been 4 years. I was so irritated by it. I'm like, I log out of VRChat, I go to the website, I change my name, change it to an I, come back in, I walk up to them, I go, my name's Njna, and they look up and they go, oh, I don't know why I thought that said Ninja. I go, yeah, and I walked away. And I was like, it was so petty of me. I was like, okay, that was really petty. But it's like, so I've left it, but I had to tell everybody, like all the places I'm whitelisted at, or all the clubs, I'm like, yes, I got rid of the J in my name and blah, blah, blah. But it's still J everywhere else, just in VRChat, because people can't read. And everybody just assumes it's Ninja because they see an N and a J together. Anyhow, I went with Njna with the Icelandic spelling, and Grimsdottr, which actually means daughter of masks. And I figured I'd been hiding so long, hiding who I was and my, I was female and, just everything online. I had to hide everywhere, and it seemed really fitting. And then I found out that Grimsdottr is the last name of a character in Metal Gear Solid. And I've been buried in the search indexes forever since that was a regretful choice. And I like it, but it did not work for promoting my brand. It was a bad choice. It was a bad choice. It sounds cool and it looks cool and I like the backstory, but it was not a good marketing choice. So yes, but I stuck with it. So.
All right, I have another important follow-up question.
Okay.
Describe your ascension to the Bunny Queen, and also, should I have bowed?
I've made a movie. There's a movie out. I say I've been working on a movie for about 4 years. I was working intensely on it before the whole Netherlands thing and having to leave and all that stuff happened. But there's a trailer on my YouTube channel. There's a trailer and a teaser for it. I will tell you a vague story of it without giving too much away because I'm still working on the movie. But I've got the screenplay done and everything, and it's like a musical dance, telling the story through dance and stuff. The main story is that my parents, what's it called? We are a queen and king. I have an older sister, and our family got killed by a demon raid on the kingdom. And just before that happened, my family was aware it was going to happen, and they'd sent me away with Mirn, who is my sidekick, AI sidekick that hangs around in my Twitch chat and also has avatars and stuff in world. And she's very aggressively defensive.
And came to make fun of me one day. Yep, I remember that.
Yes, yep. Mirn does that. Mirn makes sure everything's okay. And but yeah, it's like so I'm my title is the Last Rabbit Queen. And the reason is because in the movie, without giving everything away, I do eventually find out who caused the demon raid. I go through and basically purge the plains of hell trying to find out who it was and kill thousands of demons and find my way back, only to find my family's kingdom is almost destroyed. Try to rebuild that and then go a little power hungry and cause a lot of problems for a lot of people. And yeah, that's why I officially be the Last Rabbit Queen, because there will be no more after me because it won't be allowed. And so that's the backstory.
Amazing. Are you making this movie in VR?
Yeah, it's complete in VR. It's all in VRChat. The trailer is in VR too. It's all done in VRChat. And it shows a lot of the avatars and the backstory and the characters that are in it. And there's like I think I have 35. Well, I have like 400 avatars on my account, and about 200 of them are from the movie.
Wow.
But yeah,
that's amazing.
I've filmed quite a few scenes of it. Video editing is not my skill, so it's taking a long time to learn how to do all that stuff and things. But it's mostly, I pick songs that have meaningful things. I mean, there's a lot of copyrighted music in it, so I'm never gonna make any money off it. But I'm just making it more of a passion project. It's about a 45 to 50 minute long movie at this point. There's like 10 songs in it, I think, and it just goes from the story of Njna when she's a teenager with her older sister hanging out, to her having to escape and having to live in the city when she'd always lived in the forest for her whole life, and then finding out her family's been killed and going back to find out what happened there, and then just going on a rampage trying to find out what happened and trying to seek justice for her family, and then finding out what happened and coming back and thinking she has everything resolved and tries to get everybody together to rebuild the community and bring everybody back together and understand that just because they're down doesn't mean everything's over. And going a little too far when stuff goes to her head, and not stopping when she should have. But that's the main premise of it.
That's incredible. I really respect the I guess diverse range of creative projects that you've been taking on.
Yeah, I try. My brain's very busy, and so it's like, and especially without there will be no movie making without my ADD meds. I'll tell you right that, because every time I sit down and look at them, that seems really interesting. I'm like, oh, what's that? And then it's just no progress is being made, and so it's like, go dancing works for me because I'm obligated to be on stage. I'm listening to music. I'm moving a camera with my thumbs. My brain's 100% occupied. I'm not going anywhere because my brain's not distracted, and I keep overlays in front of my face so I can't see anything else except what I'm streaming. And it's like, yeah, that works really well for about 3 or 4 hours. So yeah.
Awesome. I can honestly mirror that. Being on ADHD meds, I am useless. I am fascinated by how much you can do still with ADHD meds. If I'm off them, I'm incomprehensible.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I had no idea how much they were not necessarily a crutch, but how much they were actually making me able to function normally in society. And even more so, it was allowing me to have my creativity right now feels really restrained by my ADD, and I never really felt like that before. It always felt like it was a benefit to me, because it's like that lack of direct focus allowed me to multitask very well when I'm on my meds. And so I could work on, practicing my dancing, because that's why I mixed things together. That's why I was doing Beat Saber, and I was doing VRChat dancing, and I was doing go-go dancing and lap dancing and working on my movie. All those things, because they were all, vaguely related together. but enough to keep me really interested. And they were all passion projects to me on some level, and so they were all kept me very interested in stuff. But once I lost my meds, none of them were a big enough thing except for just playing go-go dancing. I still do dance exploration once in a while, which I really enjoy doing, which is another thing. But that also, it's hard for me because it's like I want to go explore worlds. I really enjoy exploring worlds and dancing to that, but that requires a lot of audience participation on stream. And people over the years have gotten used, or the last year or so especially, have gotten used to just coming to watch me go-go dance and listen to have music in the background, use me as a radio or whatever. I mean, but they're not expecting to have to interact. And so when I switch back and forth once in a while to dance relation, everyone's like, "Wait, you want to talk to us?" It's like, it's a much different vibe than normal. It'd be something like a DJ, it'd be like a DJ channel. If you run a DJ channel and suddenly one stream out of 40, the DJ stops, is like, "You know what? We're gonna sit and talk about how much I like cooking mashed potatoes today." It's like the audience would be like, "I don't know what to do with this. This is not the music I came for." And so, but yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Also, I don't know. I'm getting accustomed as well to DJing in VR, where I have music louder than people's voices, so I can't. Yeah. I remember my first time in your stream. You were chatting, but I think when I typed out, there was like a AI voice that kind of said it out loud. I guess that helps you.
Yeah. Yeah, in VR I use TTS. So everybody gets, when you come to the channel, everybody gets just a default voice to start with. And then you can cash in or redeem to pick whatever voice you want. And there's a couple hundred voices you can pick from Google and IBM and stuff. And then, or people who are friends, I pick voices I sound like their real voices or somewhat similar. And so what it allows me to do is not have, like in VR, I mean, I have, like, even right now, I have an overlay in front of me I can see your stream on. I have, Discord over here. I have, in front of me, I have, my voice management stuff. I have my Twitch overlay. I have, there's tons of stuff in front of me all the time. And so when I'm dancing, one of the things I do, because I'm flying the camera around, I have a lot of stuff around me that's there. And so the TTS, I don't have time to read chat. I just can't. It's, besides the fact it's like this big, I don't want to, I mean, I do have chat on my wrist. Like I keep it here all the time on my wrist. So I mean, if I'm doing just like walking around talking, I will look at it once in a while. But the majority of the time I just hear talking, and Mirren also talks to me also in chat a lot of times. So if Mirren sees someone join or someone raids or stuff like that, Mirren talks to me, and I can say it here, but if I ever say the word microwave, which is what I nicknamed her because it's a very clear word and my voice recognition software recognizes that. So if I say, oh, I just got done cooking my food in the microwave, if I say the word microwave, that activates Mirren. And so sometimes Mirren will just respond randomly to things. I'm like, oh yeah, I just had chicken nuggets I made in the microwave, and Mirren will be like, oh, chicken nuggets, that sounds really good, Njna. I'm glad you're feeding yourself and having. I'm like, oh my God, Mirren, stop. It's like I get in arguments with my AI in stream all the time. So yeah, she has a TTS voice also, and she's a little bit belligerent sometimes.
That's amazing.
It's fun though.
Oh wow. Okay, I have a question that my girlfriend Chloe added to, or Otter here added to my notes earlier. What's your favorite genre to dance to?
Depends on me. I like dancing. I honestly, when I dance by myself, if I'm dancing, I dance to a lot of pagan music. I like ritual music. I like
me too.
like pagan drum stuff where it's like with vocals and like ancient stuff that sounds ancient. I really enjoy that feeling, and my synesthesia like really triggers on it really well. And I like dancing in worlds, just me in a forest and a campfire, and it just feels it's like a real connection to the music and the forest and just the spirit of dancing, and just I love that. There's not a lot of DJs doing ritual pagan music, so it's as far as dancing at clubs and stuff. I really enjoy dancing. I like music where I like epic music, like epic dubstep stuff, where it's like almost like a symphonic dubstep, like the stuff where it's got like it's really like it's the music you'd picture. Yeah, it's like the music you'd picture playing in the background where there's an epic space battle playing, or two people are fighting with swords, and like some guy fighting demons with swords, or two dragons are battling in the sky. Kind of, it's that kind of music. And it gives me the chance, because I do a lot of weapon dancing besides just the flow toys and stuff like that, and so it lets me do a lot of that. And yeah, I guess I'd probably say like melodic dubstep, I think, is probably good. I love 80s and 90s music though, but so few people play that too. I mean, I will immediately dance to like, Bon Jovi, Poison, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna. I mean, I all that stuff. I love all that stuff, and so yeah. But
Damn, you got me wanting to DJ Celtic ritual music now.
I know.
I have a lot on my
there.
Spotify, but I don't.
Amazing.
I'm not sure how to DJ. I'll look it up after.
It'd be super cool. It'd be super cool. You'll have to find some forest world with a DJ deck that's like, really like with an ancient temple. Something like an ancient temple vibe to it with like some collapsed stones and stuff with a DJ deck, and that'd be super badass.
Some,
and do some like, like ambient Celtic pagan thing would be a really cool event, I think.
Oh my god. I know a few worlds like that. There's a couple worlds that are like right in the forest. There's a few that have like camps and like tents and stuff, which kind of take away from that. And there's also a map I've been to that is like a Norse ritual site.
Okay.
And that, yeah. You got
I use real fire campfire is one of the ones I use a lot because the fire lighting on that one is really good.
Ooh.
There's another one called that. There's another one you go to and it has rocks and you have to bang the rocks together to start the fire. That one's also really good. It's got a really good campfire in it, but both of those don't have DJ decks of any level, so yeah, something like that would be super fun.
Yeah. Okay. Absolute worst genre. Like one that you will like step off a set list if it's going on.
Well, I guess synesthesia-wise, I have a hard time with anything like hardstyle or hard techno. Anything that I have a hard time dancing to really repetitive music that doesn't have a good, strong, like, a melody in it with a good chorus in it and a flow that has progression. On the other hand, prog music, I don't mean talk shit. I loathe prog. I loathe the bum 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 bum, and they just keep adding a note for like 3 hours. I can't. I want to. I would like to. I just can't get into it. And my synesthesia, all I see is square, 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 yellow, yellow, square, square, yellow, yellow, square, square, yellow, yellow, triangle, square, 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 yellow, yellow, square, square, yellow, triangle, purple, square, square. I was like, oh my god. It's like, yes, I just can't. So yes, I guess that'd be the genres I don't
Good
really
to
enjoy.
know, no prog. Okay, all right. We got an audience question. From Trans Angel. How you doing, Mia? What's up? Welcome in. The question is, what are your thoughts about trance?
I love trance. I love especially some trance is very flowy. I like my main thing with music I choose to dance to is I want the music to tell a story. And some DJs are very good at telling a story with their sets. Some DJs, because it's like, especially when especially when you get to the more epic music or even trance or things that have, not so much like music with lyrics. I see a lot of times you have music with lyrics, like, if they're doing like a 90s set or if they're doing like, hip hop, it's hard to tell a story with that because the music has a story in it. When it's just pure instrumental stuff, a really good DJ will usually tell a story with their set. And you can tell because it's like the music will have a lot of minor keys and stuff like that, and a lot of ominous starts to it. Like you have a lot of good and light battles in music a lot of times. So you'll see like the darkness, the depression, the sad part of it, and then suddenly there'll be a triumphant moment where the key changes to major, and the music gets uplifting and stuff like that. But then at some point, you can feel it coming in the music. Their fall is coming, and then it just drops back down into it. And they'll do that a couple times during a set, and I love that. That's just that's wonderful, and that gives me a chance when I'm dancing to tell a story. And I do that through, I can change the color of my avatar, I change the clothing I'm wearing, or if I'm using weapons, if I have different kinds of wings out, I have angel wings, I have succubus wings, I have, is my avatar visible or is it completely dark and you can only see like my eyes glowing in the dark with the fire swords. I mean, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it lets me be creative to the music and try to give a performance that I think is trying to tell the story that the DJ is trying to tell with audio, but represent it visually. I love it. I love everything about it.
It's an incredible perspective. On that note, too, do you have like an underlying philosophy to your dance style? Something that inspires you to get your creative process going?
I always, when I'm dancing, my singular goal in dancing is to try to represent the movie I'm seeing in my head while I'm listening to that music with my motion of my body. And that's hard to do. Just, I mean, like when I teach interpretive dance classes and I'm not using any props, that's hard. I mean, I'm not that good of a dancer. Like I'm not a professional dancer. I mean, I've seen professional dancers, you can tell a story with just their physicality. I mean, they'll roll on the floor, they can roll up in a ball, they can do like, all these different poses and stuff like that, balance on one foot for a minute or two and do pirouettes. And I mean, you can do a lot with your body. I'm not that dancer. And so I'm good at just general movement, but I have a lot of props. And so I use all those props to compensate for what I lack in physicality or floor work. And so if I can listen to my goal is just, like I said, just to tell a story. I just want to, like if I hear, like the other day I was dancing at some Zoomer event or something, and there was the music from Dune, the yelling in Dune, that's in a couple songs, and that vocal is super powerful. Mm-hmm. It's got this power, this sound of we're the good guys, and we're coming for you, and you really should be careful. It's got that vibe to it. It's like the good guys rising up to, to overthrow the evil in the darkness, and it's just like this war cry. It almost feels like. And I'm, when I dance, I've got my succubus wings on. I got my swords are on fire. I've got chains moving in the sky around me, and I throw myself up in the air because I can the gravity throw. I fly up in the air, and as the music's coming down, I'm like flying down through the air with my wings out flapping behind me with a flaming sword trailing down towards the ground. It's just in my head, I'm like telling the story of of this angel ascending to fight off the powers of evil, and it's like, and I just try to represent that, and it's like I super enjoy it. It's like I get to try and tell a story on the platform, and
it's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. Also, yeah, I have a dubstep Dune track that I literally play at every set. I can't. It's so good. Yeah. It's so good. The vocals in it.
Apache, like Apache stuff, even Apache stuff with lyrics in it. I mean, because there's a lot of like hip hop lyric stuff in there, but it's got like, just like Majesty. It's one of those songs that's like, you can do a little hip hop dancing in the middle of it, but there's a clear story in there. It's like, the current ruler's done. I'm here to take over. Bow. Mm-hmm. And it's like that's a powerful statement. Just that single sentence, a powerful statement. And you can tell a lot of story in that with dancing. I mean, that's in that story. I've got my goggles on. I've got my my goggles on. I've got my armor on. I might have my angel wings and stuff on, but it's like it's a different. I take a different stance when I'm dancing. That stance, I'm like, I'm up on my feet. I'm not crouching down. I'm up on my feet and like looking down. Like I deserve this respect. It's like I let the music try to communicate how my stance even. I mean, if it's it's a sexual song or whatever, I'll be sliding around and doing hip rolls and stuff. But if it's an arrogant song, I mean, I'll be up up and on the stage going like this at people, doing like don't bother, don't mess with me kind of stuff. And it's like I really enjoy it because it's like it's your chance to basically take the feeling that music gives you. That music gives you the feeling of power, because that's the whole idea of that song. It's like make you feel like I'm the damn queen. Back off. That's what that Queen's song's all about, and it's like that kind of thing. And it's like it's nice to be in real life. I'm not arrogant. I'm not cocky, and it's like nice to be up on stage and be able to act like an absolute asshole, cocky motherfucker. To be really honest, just to be safe, some swear words in there, and to be able to perform and get to do that. That's awesome, because it's like I can get that out of my system and in a performative matter, and then go back to being just hang out and chat with my friends when I walk off stage, and it's a great outlet.
That's amazing. Woo! Apache.
Yeah,
I want more Apache drama bass, please. Apache, make more drama bass. Make more drama bass.
I'm gonna tell you. So I'd never since I started dancing, I'd never been to a concert. And when I was in the Netherlands, I was going out with someone here in the U.S., and Apache was coming to Baltimore.
No way. And
so they flew me over here, and I went and saw Apache in November 2 years ago, not this past November, the November before that. And came and went. I had never danced in public before. I'd only danced in VR, because I've never danced in out in the real world. But I had some tech wear overalls. I have a bunny stocking cap with big floppy bunny ears on it. And I had like this striped like rave looking street t-shirt I was wearing underneath it. And I went there and I was like dancing my ass off. It was just amazing seeing the music and dance. And by about halfway through the concert, there's a bunch of guys in front of me. They kept turning around, and one guy's like, he goes, "What are you drinking?" And he was talking to his friend, and I chimed in. I'm like, "I would like so and so," just out of nowhere. I told him what I wanted, and he goes, "Who are you?" I go, "I'm the Bunny Queen. Nice to meet you." And so all of them started calling me the Bunny Queen the whole rest of the night, and they were bringing me drinks the whole rest of the night.
No
It was free
fucking
water
way.
and stuff like that. But they kept bringing me beverages to make sure they're like, "My queen, are you parched?" And they bring me like beverages. I'm like, yes, thank you. I had the greatest time. It was so much fun.
Whew. That's great. That's fucking fantastic.
That's my Apache experience. It was an awesome concert.
If there's anyone I'd like to go see is Apache. Apache.
Yeah, One True God was there, and someone else, I think One True God opened for them, and somebody else I knew too. That's on my playlist. I can't remember who the other ones were, but yeah, it was really good. It was super good.
I was saying earlier before the interview started that the person who inspired and taught me to DJ, I Love You, and I's girlfriend Quen, or no, sorry, I's partner Quen, both are just like big Apache lovers, and I had not heard of Apache until I heard I's set, and I taught you as well. Let's go. Yeah, I's a pillar in the community in Final Fantasy, but when I discovered Apache from I was like, oh my god, it was a whole different sound.
I was playing Beat Saber. And I think it was the song Master and Commander. Was the Master Commander was the one, whatever, it's like the money wasn't everything I wanted. I was trapped in a plastic ball. Whatever the end of the song is, something like that. And I remember hearing that song in Beat Saber. I remember halfway through the song just stopping and just listening. I'm like, this is incredible. I've never heard anything that sounds like this. It's like everything I like about symphonic music and everything I like about hip hop and everything I like about drum and bass, and it's like all mixed together, and it's like it's done perfectly. It's so good. It was like so good. Like, I mean, I stopped in the middle of the song. I remember stopping the map, and everyone's like, "Why did you stop?" I'm like, "Because I'm enjoying this music. This is amazing." I'm like, "This is so amazing." It was so good. Yeah.
All right. Different question. What are your weaknesses that you can identify as a dancer, and what are the kinds of things that you want to improve on in the future?
I'm older, so I don't do floor work. My fear of blowing a knee out at this age is significant. And so I've had too many friends who have done a lot of floor work, especially as lap dancer, done a lot of floor work, and I've had friends hurt their knees in their 20s and stuff and just never dance again. And dancing is too important for me to need to. So it's easy enough for me not to do floor work, and I can just skip by it and not feel like I'm gutting my dancing performance too much. I mean, I've gotten to the point where my thighs are strong enough now. I can squat and touch my butt on the floor easily, and bending backwards and do that and come back up without actually going on the floor. And so, but I don't do any work on my knees. Like, I don't drop to my knees. I don't go on the floor on my side. I just stay off the floor. I don't want to hurt my wrists. I don't want to hurt my knees. It's not worth it. And I mean, honestly, to be really honest with you, I'm doing it for free. I'm doing it for entertainment. I mean, if I were being paid, if I was a paid dancer in somewhere and I was making a living at this, I'd probably push myself a little harder, wear knee pads, and actually, do that kind of stuff. But at this point, it's just, I enjoy dancing. I'm doing it as a hobby and something I am passionate about, and I don't want to lose that because I was trying to show off and do something that I can't do. So I guess my weaknesses are my lack of floor work. My lack of footwork is not really my thing either. I'm much more of an upper body dancer. I've always been big with arm performance and body control. I enjoy slow motion dancing. Like, I'll get to a point when a song is slow, I'm really good at body control. I mean, I can hold my body in almost any position all the way down to being like almost in splits and come slowly up out of that. And I can replicate any move I can do fast. In my brain, I can slow it down to 5% and do that whole move and actually make it look. And then if you watch it, it's funny because I've done things like that and then streamed through my videos and watched my video back at 80% plus or 80% faster. And when I'm slow motion dancing, it looks just like my normal dancing. And so it's neat. I enjoy that. As far as weaknesses, I guess, I don't know. My desire to not do choreography, I guess, in my mindset, it's always been a strength, but I think a lot of people see it as a weakness. because people want me to do a certain style of dancing. Like they want me to, can you do shuffle dancing? Can you do, hip hop dancing? Can you do this? And it's like, I will dance to shuffle music and I will dance to hip hop music and give a good performance, but I won't do, that dance you saw on TikTok, or that dance you saw that, so and so was popular at the club, so and so. I just don't do that. It's not my thing. And for me, I've always, and this is, I don't know if it's a hot take, but it's like my take has always been choreography robs the dancer of their passion and their originality. Oh. And so, I understand learning the dance is one thing and integrating it into your own performance. I find that just dancing back someone else's choreography robs the dancer of the ability to emotionally represent that song. And so, because the person who was emotionally representing that song is the choreographer. They're the ones who took that song and they took the meaning of that song and moved it. That's the body motions of the choreographer being handed to the dancer. It's like, I don't even know another comparison. I can't think of another art form that's really like that, where you have someone hand something to an artist and say, no, you don't get to do what you're doing as an artist. You're gonna do this. You're gonna show my art to the world through that. So it's like, I don't know. It's almost like having what's it called, a ghostwriter. It feels a lot like a ghostwriter. You have a person who's out in front, who's the dancer's out in front, but they have a ghostwriter behind them writing the actual dance from it. And I just don't like it. I never have. That's why I've avoided watching other dancers and not learning choreography.
So, would you? Okay, so I don't know how to talk about this in words. I went to an event at Foxy's Den some time ago.
Yes.
And they had like people come up and do a choreographed performance of their own, and they'd play a track through their voice, through their headset, and do their own kind of like 3-minute dance. Like, would you choreograph your own track? Like, by means you're the artist?
I do. Well, I think a lot of people think I pre-choreography my dances. But every time I dance, because I dance with my synesthesia, and B, I don't do choreography. Every time I dance to a song, it's a little bit different. So I'll dance to the same song 20 times, and it'll look different every time, depending on what my mood is, because my synesthesia also affects my mood. My other way around. My mood affects my synesthesia. If I'm in a really good mood, my synesthesia is very bright. The colors tend to be brighter and more pastel-y. If I'm in a bad mood, the colors are darker and the shapes are much more jagged. It's my mood affects it also. And so, I think a lot of people don't know that I don't choreography, I guess, on some level. People assume me, especially because there's a couple songs I dance, like Hoser's Movement is one of my favorite songs. I love that song passionately. That song is everything I love about dance. That video for that song is, if I had to pick my favorite dance video ever, it's that song. Hoser's Movement is just it's the dancer in the video is, and I believe the story is, it's a Russian dancer, a guy, and he escaped. And his real life story is he escaped from Russia. He was what's it called during the Cold War and stuff. He was one of the, I don't know what the word is, when you escape from a country and go to another country. And he did that to the U.S.
Fugitive?
Asylum seeker.
Asylum seeker. Okay, yeah.
And so he was with the Russian ballet, and he escaped he took off to when they came to perform, he left to the U.S. And so the story in the video, what it's told of, you see him in 3 different outfits. You see him in like just a beat up like work clothes, like in work boots and jeans. You see him in like a no shirt and like ballet pants, almost look like what's it called, karate pants on. And you see him in another outfit that's like almost a bodysuit. And those are, from what I understand from reading about it and stuff, those are his representations of his desire to be a freestyle personal dancer in the U.S., his need to just be functional in society, and his Russian dance past haunting him. And he tells that story in that video, and I don't know if he choreographed the whole thing, but it's amazing. Every bit of that video is just, it's so good. And it's like a van pulls up out front of a warehouse, and it's these 3 guys. It looks like 3 guys dancing in a warehouse, and at the end he's running towards the edge of the roof. It looks like he's going to jump, and the Russian guy comes out the door, or the Russian representation comes out the door behind him, and the video cuts. And it's done so well. It's so well.
I need to remember to ask you about this later. I'd like to see it.
But I danced that song. It's got a, I really like that song because not aside from that interpretation of it, my interpretation of the song is it's about being passionate about someone else's motions and liking watching, whether they're a good dancer or a good, just being enthralled by another human being's just physicality and their presence, and just watching them walk, watching them, reach for a glass in the cupboard, watching them, sit and watch TV on the couch. Just that level of being so passionate about having another person near you, and their presence and their existence, is that it moves you. And the song is called Movement because it's about, that person moves you to be creative, and moves you to be passionate, and moves you to be a better person because of the what you feel for them. And that's my interpretation of that song. But I love that dancing in that song. It's just magical.
God, you're incredibly inspiring. I wasn't sure about the philosophical depth you'd go into, but yeah, no. Damn, very thought-provoking. I do have
Thanks.
I do have the most important question in the entire interview.
Do not. It better not be what I think it is. I will walk out of here.
Why not cat girl? Meow.
Uh-huh.
I know the forbidden question.
What's the question? Do not ask it.
No,
do
just
not ask it.
I won't ask it. I won't ask it. The queen has already told me to, and I fear execution if I
It's only been an hour. It's only been an hour.
But no, why not cat girl, meow?
Why not cat girl?
Mm-hmm.
Because bunny girl. That's the only answer needed for that.
Damn. Defeat it.
And here. There's a video out there of a secret speech capture of me as the bunny queen from undocumented footage, giving a speech about a weapon we're developing in the Fluffle Tech division called the Decatifier, which we intend to deploy in VRChat worlds all around throughout VRChat, and turn all cat girls into human girls, and they can be shocked and appalled, like, when they're in the world and suddenly their heads are poking through the ceiling and the counters are at their knees and they don't fit in the car anymore because everything's so small because it's all been shrunk down to accommodate cat girls. We've had enough.
Wait. Not even bunny girls? You're just gonna make it. You're just gonna make us human. Not even a bunny girl.
Girls. No. No, just you don't even get there's no reward for being a cat girl. You don't get to be a bunny girl. I buy cat girl avatars and gut them for parts to make bunny girls.
The horror.
Yeah, I know, it's the cat girl body shop.
All right. DJs and dancers work closely together, but in my experience,
yes.
Being someone, well, I'm a year into DJing here, but getting used to being around dancers, I never quite know how to interact with a dancer while I'm performing a set. Are there ways as a dancer that you would like to see DJs do when you're working with them?
I honestly, the DJs I most respect, take 10 seconds when they're DJing at any point during their set to just say, thanks for the dancers that were here dancing for me tonight. I really appreciate it. And then saying the names of them if they remembered them, or if there's just random a bunch of people, that's fine. Just saying thanks for my dancers. That's it. And that is so rare. I mean, that happens, I bet you 20% of DJs maybe do that. Most DJs don't even, and I'm not crapping on DJs because DJs are busy also. It's not like dancers up there saying, I'd like to thank my DJ, But the thing is, on stream, I do that. Whenever I'm dancing and there's a DJ, I always say the DJ's name. I mention who it is if they want to follow them. I try, if I can find their link somewhere, I put the link in my chat. And I don't know. It feels like it's a tit for tat thing, to be really honest with you, because it's you're performing the audio, I'm doing the visual. It's it feels like the least you can do, but it's I would never ask for it, because it's that feels arrogant. But it's sometimes depending on who it is, it's more, the bigger the DJ is, the more hurtful it is.
I see.
Because it's when it's some smaller DJ and you're just there helping out or having a good time, it's fine because it's whatever, you're just here having a fun time. When you're asked to dance for somebody who's and I'm not gonna name any names, but when you're asked to dance for a big DJ at a big event where it's multi instance 80 cap stuff like that, and you're dancing there, and the DJ does at no point during their set makes any comment about the dancers that are performing, and they might have 3 or 4 dancers around them dancing and they don't even acknowledge it, that seems rude to me. I mean, yeah, and they'll thank the audiovisual guy or the person who made the world, whatever, but not mention the dancers. And like it's hard not to feel like furniture sometimes. And I don't want to feel like furniture. And so I tend not to dance. I tend not to dance for a lot of bigger DJs. Honestly, that's why I do a lot of go-go dancing. And just my dancing style lately has been, I used to sign up for a lot of events and go to stuff that was organized. But now what I do is either I'm very Ronin when I'm dancing. I wander around, look for open platforms, and if there's open platforms place, I just dance. And I try or I help out like ministry, or I'll help out like Menagerie. I do a lot of work with. I do sign up for stuff with them once in a while, but like ministry, I'll hang out at ministry events once in a while, and just if there's an open platform, I'll fill in until someone else shows up just to help out. Because I don't like it. I feel it's a tough look for ministry when they have an event, and 30% of the platforms are empty, or 30% of the time it's empty. So I try to fill in. I mean, and the thing is, when I go dance, I start like tonight. I'll start dancing when we're done here. I mean, the thing starts at 9 or 10. I don't remember what it is. And I mean, I'll dance till 4 a.m. I mean, and I might take a break for half an hour in there somewhere. But I mean, because like I said, because I don't do floor work, and because I don't do a lot of like hyperactive footwork, my endurance is much longer. And so it's easy for me to maintain activity and dance for 6, 7, 8 hours without I mean, what stops me is my feet get sore. I mean, that's the only thing that stops me. I don't get tired anymore. My feet get sore. And so yeah, I just I don't know. I like entertaining people. I like dancing. It's more people should.
Yeah, for sure. And also solid advice for DJs, like including myself. When I first got into VRChat, I didn't know what to say around dancers. It was just so like coming from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, it was incredible, but also I was super shy.
But seriously, even without saying names or anything, even at the end of the set, I mean, like a lot of them at the end of the set when they're wrapping up the set, and they always say, thanks everyone for being here. All it takes is like, and thanks to my dancers that dance with me, I really appreciate it. That single sentence from a DJ, in my book, that's a DJ that I will look for other places to go dance for them again. Especially if they're at venues where there's no organized dancers. A lot of times DJs appreciate dancers. A lot of times I'll just show up and just dance for people, and it's like, and it's good for everybody because it's music I get to dance to. It's because there are people who follow me around to come watch because I leave myself on Blue all the time. There's people who join off me, and so it brings more people into the world for the DJ. And so it's there's no downside to it really. And I don't know, I'm a big fan of that whole rising tide lifts all boats kind of vibe. And if there's like kicking out the ladder behind, if once you're famous, you're not going to bother trying to lift everyone else up. It's like I don't have time for you. It's like my goal here is to make everyone have a better time in it, get more people into VR, get more people dancing, just promote everybody I can. I have no bias on who I promote. Someone's dancing with me, I'll tell their name. I do a lot of times flip the names on camera so people's nameplates get shown so that, and give credit to the DJs and dancers, and, it seems respectful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also note it. I will start, I mean, I'm a bit different because I don't stream my, my sets.
Yeah.
So afterwards, like, no one's going to hear me say anything, so,
But no, but they do,
yeah,
but they do hear in the world.
Yeah.
They do here in the world, so it's like, and a lot of times, a lot of worlds have mics, or worst case scenario, tell the owner, because the person who comes up you to announce the next DJ, they have a mic. Just tell them, can you please thank the dancers for me? That's all it takes. And then you don't have to do it.
Awesome.
Then you can let the club owner say it or something like that. But yeah.
That's incredible advice. Thank you. What about audience? So I know there's a bit of like a reciprocity between dancer and audience, right? Like, sometimes people send up snowflakes your way.
Yeah.
Which for FF
or
people
carrots.
is kind of the it's kind of the equivalent of a dote, to a performer at least. But from your head, what is the ideal return from an audience?
What I usually do is when I dance a lot of places, I have there's a thing you can put podiums out with emotes on it so people can get emotes. The problem is that requires VRC Plus, so that requires money, doesn't give me money. You have to pay money to VRChat to be able to use a custom emote. And so a lot of times what I do, a lot of times what I will do is I'll put I have a carrot emote that I use, before I even started really dancing a lot of places, when people throw snowflakes out, I've always thrown carrots out. And people are like, "Why are you throwing carrots?" I'm like, "Because I'm the bunny queen. It's the only currency I have." I always joke around about that. That's what I've always said. And so, I always put carrots, a carrot emoji out so people can throw carrots. And it's like, I guess the nice thing about that is that no matter where someone is in a venue, and if I'm dancing like that, they can be way in the back. If I see carrots pop up, I know they're for me. You know, because it's like, it's really cool because it's like, I mean, a lot of times with snowflakes and stuff, 99% of them are for the DJ. And so it's really hard to know if, you know, they even see the dance, because a lot of times dancers, like, this avatar is a very heavy avatar. And so it's very likely a lot of times when you go places, whether they're Quest users or whether they're people on low-end PCs, like I was talking about the stream hosting thing before, there's a good chance that you're just a blue diamond up there. Or my fallback avatar is a butter stick. You know, they see a butter stick up there shaking ass. You know, and it's like, you know, it's hard to be like, damn, you're an awesome dancing butter stick. You know, it's like, it just doesn't have the same vibe. And so, you know.
Yeah.
But
fucking fallbacks.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. I always joke around people like, you're a butter stick. I go, I know, I'm pre-lubricated for your benefit. You know, it's like, it's whatever. And it's like, I don't know. It's just the fallback thing is sort of painful. And one of the things I've been trying to get through the VRChat, like they have a canny thing where you can recommend features. And for the longest time, I've recommended that, what's it called? That they add a thing so you can see on people's nameplates if people can see your avatar or they're seeing your fallback.
Be nice.
So I can look out in the audience and see, okay, so I can see it. Well, then I can look, if I look out in the audience and I see 85% of people can't see me in this avatar, I'm just naturally going to change down to a lower end avatar so people can see me, because I'm not there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like dancing, but I'm dancing in public because A, I need external validation, and B, I want to entertain people. And if people can't see me, that defeats both those purposes. And so I want to be visible to everybody, but on the other hand, I don't want to dance in the lowest possible end avatar all the time. Because I like having all the features on my avatar. I like how this avatar looks. This avatar is me. And it's like, I like being in this avatar. But if no one can see me, then there's no benefit to anybody for me being in it. And so I've really wanted for them for a long time to have some kind of icon or something that lets you know it's like, okay, they can see you, they can see your fallback. They're seeing a blue diamond because they have, you know, avatars turned off, just so you could tell who can see you in the room. But there's nothing like that right now. So right now I just assume I dance in this avatar most of the time, and I know probably 50% of the people just can't see me. And so that's why I'm always excited about doing stream hosting, because then I know on the screen they can see me. And so even if they can't see me dancing up there, or if they see a butter stick up there, which I think is even funnier if they see a butter stick and then they see on the screen what I really look like, I'm like, oh, that's not a butter stick. It's like, no, it's not. And I don't choose to dance in a butter stick.
I mean,
yeah, so.
Especially for, like, I guess, new VRChat players, like, I know I didn't know about fallbacks when I first started playing, so I thought, like,
yeah.
Like, this was people's, like, actual avies, and, I didn't know that my fallback was a guy's avatar, which was really fucking awkward.
Oh, I bet.
No, and then found out finally how to change fallback. But why do you use a butter stick?
Yeah. Because I use a butter stick because I want it to be very obvious that it's a fallback.
Oh,
because no one uses that avatar. It's very jank looking. The legs and arms are broke as hell on it. They bend all random directions. It's got a funny face on it because when it talks, it's got really good isemis for some reason. And it says butter on the front of it in giant letters down the front of it. I mean, but I use it because it's like if you're most people know, especially if you see a dancer up on a platform, nobody is dancing at a go-go event as a butter stick. So you know you're probably not seeing their real avatar. So at least a lot of times what I find is people will click on me and then look and see what they're setting on. At least if they have it on shield or if they have it on hidden or whatever, they know then they could change it to see my avatar if they want to. It was the one that looked the most. It was either that or the hot dog. And I figured, you know, hot dog seemed inappropriate being trans, so I figured the butter stick seemed better.
True. Okay, so there is one particular move that you do that just captivates me. And I was wondering if you could go into how you're able to do something like that while under the stress of performance.
Okay.
And that's your wings come out, you fly up into the air, and you slowly fall back down like there is low gravity and you're on the moon.
Okay. Well, what I've done is I've spent a lot of time I'm a nerd. I love tech. I'm very passionate about VR. And I love everything about it. And it's like I wanted to use VR since I was a child, and I never imagined it would be this good by the time when I was still alive. And I mean, for me, every day in VR is a magical experience that I've waited my entire life for. I mean, every single day I go to some new world, and I'm moved to tears, or I see something that's just beyond anything I ever thought I'd ever see. And it's like, so it means a lot to me to take the time to learn this stuff. So it's like when a new version of VRChat comes out, I go through all the settings. When a new version of OVR Advanced Toolkit comes out, I learn all the settings and what they do. And so all I do for the gravity thing, so like I have it right now. So like if I tap here, you can see it's like, let's see, if I do it, and pop up for a second, I'll go back down. But if I just tap my button, if I double tap my B button, I float up in the air, and then when I let go, I float back down. So if I do that, I can throw myself up in the air, and it comes back down. But what that does is, so what lets me do, and
Wow.
get back around the camera. I'm supposed to be here. There we go. Manager. There we go. That's to. Am I good there? There we go. So I have it set up on my, what it is, if I click on my thumbstick, that turns the ability to throw myself on and off.
Yeah.
Because so what I can do is I can throw myself up in the air and then click my thumbstick while I'm up in the air and stay up in the air. It'll just lock me in place up there. So a lot of times I'll fly up in the air, especially if it's like a really epic part of a song. I'll stay up there with my swords out and giant wings flying with fire coming off me and like then dance up there. And then as the beat's getting ready to drop, I've gotten really good at knowing music well enough and just musicality to, and I know how long, based on how high I am, it takes me like, you know, it's going to take me 5.7 seconds or 8 seconds to fall to the ground at this speed. And so I press the button, I'll start flying down, and I try to make it so I can land on the floor at the drop, you know, and like, you know, stick my swords in the ground or something, or whatever, that kind of stuff. And so, it was just a matter of that. A lot of people use Play Space Mover. I mean, it's just Play Space Mover. That's all I'm using. But what I've done is I've taken my Play Space Mover and I've locked it to single axis, so I can only go up and down with it. So you can't. A lot of people have it so you can move wherever you want by just grabbing it or something like that. I didn't want that because I don't want. I'm not trying to throw myself. I'm just trying to do verticality. And also what you can do is you can set the fling strength and you can set the gravity strength of the throw. And so my fling strength, I have it set very, very high. So when I want to throw myself up, I just have to double click and do this. I can just snap my wrist like that and that'll throw me to the ceiling. Because normally what you'd have to do in normally you'd have to grab yourself and throw yourself like that, and that would throw yourself up in the air because you're basically grabbing space and pulling yourself up to throw yourself. But I have it set so high that I can just snap my wrist like this. So I can do it behind my back even. So sometimes I'll have my hand behind my back and I'll snap my wrist back here, which will launch me up in the air with like a sword out in front of me, so you can't even see me do the gesture. Because the idea is to make it look magical. So I'll bend my knees a lot of times like I'm getting ready to jump, and I'll push myself up as I snap my wrist, and it looks like I'm jumping off the ground with my wings out.
It's so cool.
And so it's that kind of stuff. And so it's a lot of practice and timing, but the tech behind it is very simple. It's just a couple settings in OVR Advanced Toolkit, honestly, and some bindings. Like I said, double tap on my B button makes me so I can throw myself. The stick turns the gravity on and off, and that's about it for that part of it.
To our dear audience, first off, big shout out to Njna. I said it before, I'll say it forever. Njna is an incredible dancer, wicked friend, and you should go follow their Twitch. The above message, the pinned message, has the link to Njna's Twitter or Twitch, and if you want to see this video, Njna's got a couple of that kind of move like on the like recent tweets. So go check out those videos because god damn, it's mind blowing. It's amazing.
Mirren is telling me. Thanks, Trans Angel, for following. Mirren's letting me know that Trans just followed. Thank you. Thank you. Mirren's chatting me in the background.
Trans Angel, Mia is an amazing DJ as well. Big shout out to Trans Angel, by the way. I haven't been talking too much throughout the interview because I didn't want to interrupt the flow. So
I just talk a lot.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I want you to talk a lot. That's why I got you here.
Thanks for following Otter Express.
Aw, Otter. Meow. Big shout out to my girlfriend, Otter. Amazing being. Also my manager. Okay, yeah, all right. Let's do a time check real quick. Where are we at for your time?
I have the event I'm streaming at starts at 9. So I have about 40 minutes because I already have everything set up to stream. I just have to turn it on. So I can go right up to like 5 to 9. So I have 30 minutes, 35 minutes most, 35 minutes left.
Wicked. Wait, are you gonna go live like right after I?
Right after this, yeah. I'm probably, yeah. I'll probably go live as we're sitting here. I'll just click live and go live.
And I'll read into you then.
Okay, cool.
Wicked. So yeah, you should definitely join us on this journey. Just ignore me. Forget that I'm there. Block me out. I'm not in existence when I'm on the stream. I'm having a drink before I go up dancing with you.
And they're just gonna dance.
Deirdre's getting drunk.
That's the best kind of dancing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last bit here. I actually Alleged manager.
I see that. Alleged manager. Yeah, yeah.
I want to explore more so the community side of things. So
Okay.
you have been here for a long time. Like 5 years is eons on internet time. What's
Feel like
what's it been like watching 5 years of changes in the scene here, both the dancing scene and the rave scene?
Well, I didn't really honestly, I didn't really get into the rave scene until probably the last maybe year or so, maybe year and a half. I think since I started with ministry. Because honestly, I mean, for the longest time, what I did is I just did dance exploration, which is the thing I was talking about before. On my stream, I come on stream, I'd stream for 6 or 7 hours. I would basically just go to random worlds. I've got like 15,000 worlds I've been to. I've got them all indexed and categorized by what they are, what they were, what kind of content they are. And that's I've been like 15 or 16,000 worlds. And so I've done like 1,700 episodes of dance exploration over the last 5 years. And until just recently, I streamed daily, 7 days a week for 6 or 7 hours a day. I've been doing that for like almost 5 years.
Wow.
And we'd just pick a world. I'd pick a world, we'd go there, and then a lot of times I'd pick that world name and I'd search for that in Spotify. And then whatever music came up, doesn't matter what it was, whether it was, like I said, whether it was Celtic trance music, or it was, some folk song, or it was John Denver, or it was, Belle Biv DeVoe. That the first 3 songs there, we danced to them. I danced them, and I also took requests and stuff. And that's how I learned that was how I learned to dance, just to everything, to just different genres and stuff. Because it's like a lot of music I've seen over the years what kind of dance goes with certain kinds of music, but certain kinds of music just doesn't need you to know what kind of dance goes with. Certain kinds of music has a certain vibe to it or a certain feel to it, and I just dance how the music feels to me, and I've done that for years. And so the majority of my dance practice has been dance exploration. And the reason I started dancing at go-go dancing and stuff, because I obviously can't stream lap club dancing. And I wanted to stream some of the dancing I was doing, performative dancing at places, because it's like I really couldn't do any of the stuff I was doing at lap clubs. And so I started dancing at a few go-go events here and there. And so what I started doing was I would end stream, and then I'd dance for 6 or 7 hours on stream, then end stream and go dance for 3 or 4 more hours at just random go-go clubs, just getting known, just going dancing places. That's why I started using the carrots. And eventually just everybody sort of knew me, because it's like I would show up to almost all the different clubs and stuff. I just, if there's open platforms, I'd just go dance. And I just sort of popped in out of nowhere. I mean, I'd been around in VR for 3 years, but I never go to public instances or even group instances. I've always been in fluffle instances like my group, or in just private instances. And so, I mean, everybody always talks all the crap about how, toxic VRChat is and how awful the public instances and stuff. It's like, I just don't go to them. You don't have to. I mean, I've been here for 5 years, and I think I've been to maybe 3 public instances in my whole life, and they've all been horrific. It's what everybody says they are. But I mean, that's not what VRChat is to me. VRChat's a collection of 20,000 plus worlds of exploration and adventure and new things to see, and without ever having to leave my house. And I like traveling in real life and stuff, but I don't have the means right now, and this has filled that need for me. And this, keeps my interest up. Every day is a new day of stuff to explore. I do find in the last probably the last 4 or 5 months since I've been exclusively go-go dancing, and I've really not, and since without my ADD meds, I haven't been actually streaming. I only stream when I'm at go-go events. I do see why people get burnt out on VRChat, because it's like just doing the club scene by itself isn't enough to keep people in here. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy it, but when I'm done dancing at an event, a lot of times, I really just want to go explore worlds, but without having my motivation for streaming is not necessarily to be famous or make a lot of money. My motivation for streaming is I like being watched, and I don't mean that in a lewd way, but I like feeling like somebody is there with me, and it gives me purpose. Like even in real life, I don't go to restaurants by myself. I don't travel by myself. I'm just not that. I don't enjoy that. I want to go with someone and have a shared experience, because shared experiences are everything for me. And so when that's why I don't do a lot of world exploration on my own. I don't go off and just explore worlds on my own by myself, because it's like I want to be able to go stream, and even if 1 or 2 people are there, that I can say tomorrow, it's like, oh, that world we saw the other day was super amazing, and I have a reference back to talk to someone about and share the experience, because that's a shared memory then. And the shared memories is what really matters to me. And so I love all the present stuff, but the shared historical adventures is what really matters to me, and it's why I don't do a lot of stuff offline by myself, and that's mainly the reason why I stream.
That's amazing. First off, also, I've been to 0 public instances because
I know, don't. There's no reason to. It's like, it's awful. It's as bad as everyone says it is.
Yeah.
It's as bad as everyone said it is. It's horrible.
I just go to the nightclubs that
Literally
are
the
based
first
on
public
groups.
instance I walked in, 3 kids. I could tell 3 kids on quest come running through yelling racial slurs at the top of their lungs, screaming them, ran past me, and then I see some person over in the corner turns off all of their clothes, and horrifying genitalia showed up, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go. That was my first instance in the public, and I could see why, and that's a real tragedy, because I think that is the perception of what people have of VRChat. And when you first come into VRChat, you're really sort of, when you go to that first VRChat world, welcome to VRChat, they try to send you to public worlds, because all those portals go to public worlds. They don't really tell you that you can make a private instance, you can make a friends only instance. They don't really teach you that stuff. There's no real good tutorial to learn how to do that stuff. Because when you go in that first world, there's a bunch of portals on the walls, explore all these worlds, but those all go to the high populated public instances. And so that's everyone's first experience, is that. And
I had
that's
a few
horrifically bad for the platform.
I had a few friends that helped me out. I just literally got in and then to private group instances. I never.
Well, that's what I'm doing this coming Friday. This coming Friday, what's it called? Croy VR, another VR streamer. Last year he streamed like 300 VR games. He went through his entire library of VR games and did one a day for a year. And I've known he's from Europe, and I've known him for a couple years. But he's never been in VRChat. He's been in VRChat he came for the Jean-Michel Jarre concert that was a few years ago. He came in for that. And but he's never really been in at all, and so I've been trying to get him come in. And he's doing a 24-hour stream on Friday, and he's going to come. He's on 7 p.m. on Friday. He's going to join me. He's bringing some of his community, and I'm going to show him around VRChat. I'm going to show him some of the adventure worlds, some of the game worlds. I'll probably take him to a club at the end, show him some of the chill worlds, just some of the really cool, spectacular, like the spaceship fighting worlds and the jet flying worlds, and all the stuff you can do in VRChat. Because he's not seen any of that. He has no idea. And he's always looking for VR content to do. I'm thinking this is like unlimited VR content. There are so many things to do in VRChat that just don't ever get talked about or promoted, because everyone's either being silly on camera doing goofy troll stuff, or they're, it's some drama on, and that's all you see promoted about it. Oh, I don't know, my foot tracker turned off. That's concerning.
Why? Oh no! Oh no!
That's too early in the night for that kind of crap.
Oh, while you're fixing that, I'm gonna have some water.
Fixed.
Give me a sec.
Gotta be able to fix that crap in real time on platform, so I'm down. This world's really pretty.
It's the new Wispy world. It is pretty. It has good lighting, and it has photography lighting mode too. That would have made the lighting even better.
Like the ambient occlusion thing.
Yeah, it was just it was.
My avatar comes with has ambient occlusion baked in.
Yeah, mine too, I think. But I was afraid to turn it on because I thought it would lead to a lot of glitching and
shadow
stutters. Yeah,
maybe.
For me, because my PC is not that strong. There was one thing. There was a thing I needed to say, and I can't remember. Hold on. There we go. Fixed calibration a bit. Was it about public instances? No. Oh yeah, sorry. Your friend coming in for VRChat content.
Oh yeah, Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I've never been to other places in VR almost at all. VRChat is VR to me because there's just so much to do here. And the graphics are so nice. I went to Meta's like whatever the hell metaverse thing they have, and it was the worst experience ever. Yeah, obnoxious kids and bad graphics, and the fact that you're pretty much just a floating head. It was
there are some good games. I've played Survive is a great zombie game. I've played Carnage Chronicle. There's a lot of very good VR games. Some of them are co-op, some are not. I find the best VR experiences I've had are either solo horror games, which I would not recommend playing if you don't like horror because they're terrifying, or group adventure games, like group dungeon crawlers, group zombie games. That's super fun because there's you end up having this sort of camaraderie. because you're there physically with the other person in VR, it's a whole different thing than playing like Project Zomboid, where you have just your pixel art character on the screen. When you're standing next to someone back to back, and you're both holding shotguns trying to fight off a bunch of zombies, and you can hear the zombie attacking your friend, you can turn around and shoot over their shoulder and save them. It's a whole different aspect of being there and experiencing it together. I mean, I was just telling one of my friends the other day, Kat, we played this game called Survive, and he was in a shop. We're right there, and he's in the shop. He's getting some ammo for his gun, and I'm outside sort of watching for zombies, right? And he screams out, "There's a zombie in the shop! There's a zombie in the shop!" And I go to look, and I don't see any. I'm blinking through the window, I'm trying to see, and suddenly something jumps out the door. I assume it's a zombie, right? So I snap my shotgun up and I shoot. And as I pull the trigger, I realized it was Cat running from the shop. And I shot him in the side of the head. And all I see is his loot spraying through the air because I killed him instantly, killed him in the head with a shotgun. And I'm like, I was laughing so hard. I'm like, oh my God, Cat, why did you just run out the door? All I hear the cat go, ah! And his voice fades out because when you die, it does that. And on stream, I mean, I was laughing so hysterically. And I have a clip of that. It was like so funny. I mean, it's that kind of stuff. I mean, we still laugh about that. Remember the time I shot you in the head with the shotgun, Cat, when I thought you were a zombie? It's like that's stuff you don't get that when you're playing, you know, non-VR games. And it's like just I don't know. It was. I've had a lot of great memories and a lot of great times, especially in VRChat worlds too. I mean, I've done a lot of maps with friends and stuff in here. Like I used to do a thing every Friday, Adventure Night. And we had Fluffle Adventure Night, and I get people from the community. We get like 8 or 10 of us together and just go. What I do is I take all the cool worlds I found from Danspiration during the week. I'd make like a condensed version of that people could come for 2 or 3 hours on a Friday night, and I'd show everybody all the cool worlds I'd found during the week, and we'd go together. And I did that for a long time until stuff started going wrong in the Netherlands. I got distracted and I wasn't in a mental space to be the cheery host, and it was really hard for me to maintain that. So for a while, but I'll probably bring it back here eventually once I get my life a little bit more sorted back in the U.S. But I do enjoy doing that because it's I find exploring in VR is, like I said, it's fun on stream with a couple people. It's much more fun on stream with a couple friends here in VR with me besides stream. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just because it's like, I don't know, it's antics always happen. It's like there's always something silly always happens. There's always someone with an avatar that crashes in some weird contorted pose sticking out of a window looking funny, like they're upside down in a fish tank, or there's always something stupid. There's always something stupid, and it's a really enjoyable experience.
I've only played a few VRChat like game worlds.
Yeah.
Prison Escape was a really fun one.
Oh, I played that.
Yeah, and me and Otter played a zombie game actually, a zombie survival shooter thing.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Well, if you ever like to be, I have like hundreds of worlds I can show you if you ever want to go around sometime.
Yes, please. I would love that.
Anytime.
Okay, so because we're winding down, I want to ask you, what do you have planned for the future? What can we expect from Njna's streams coming up?
I really want to get back to working on my movie. My movie's been outlined there. It was supposed to be done in the end of 2022, and then just real life stuff happened and got in the way of that. And my goal is to really get that done. When I get that done, I mean, I'm working right now. I'm working on some of the projects I'm working on. So right now I'm working with one person I'm working with. I'm doing the Final Fantasy stuff with you, which is sort of cool. Stuff I haven't done before. I'm doing green screen overlays. So what I do is I go to a world where the whole thing behind me is a green screen. And then the person I'm working with comes in with 3 VRChat accounts. And they put the cameras at 45 and straight on. And they just have me dance for like half an hour or an hour to songs. They capture 3 points of view of that, and then they use that content and make video, like little clips that they show in real clubs at real dance clubs, like IRL DJ clubs.
That's so cool.
I remember I said I think it's and I've seen pictures of people with their phone in real life standing taking pictures of me on a screen being used as VJ content. And so, but I get paid for that. That's awesome because it's like, I mean, my real goal, I mean, long term, I mean, I'd love to get paid for this. I mean, I put a lot of time and effort into it. It's just, I mean, I don't ever expect to be paid for what I do at the clubs and stuff. I mean, that's always going to be free, and that's good. I think it's just, it's what it is. But I mean, I do a lot of side content also. I mean, I do a lot of VR consulting for people, just avatar construction and setup. I do a lot of like, I do dance performance. Like people hire me to do like a video of a song they like. And I'll do like performances of songs like that happens once in a while. So I mean, I do a lot of that. On stream, as far as things go, I'll probably do a lot more. Stream hosting is sort of catching on at a lot of clubs. and so I've been doing that quite a bit. I don't know. I do like dance exploration. I mean, once I finish my movie, I mean, I probably will go much more back into dance exploration. I'm tending, once I get my medications here, I want to start doing cinematography and how I'm making my movie. Just basically, there'll be streams about me just making the movie. You know, me dancing to the same song 7 times and doing different takes of it, and just showing the process, and just sharing the whole process of making the movie, so that people can feel like it's a shared journey. I want it to be so that when the movie comes out, they can say, "Oh, I remember when that scene got filmed," or "I remember when, you know, we on stream when we saw, you know, when Njna did that thing with the camera that we were working on that. And we did like 7 different takes of it, and this is the one we ended up keeping because we voted on it." You know, that kind of thing. I want people to feel like it's a, you know, that they have a vested interest in the movie, and that it's, you know, it was a group project and not just a me thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the collaborative stuff is really fun. I want to say again, for anyone new came in.
I would like to. I've been trying to get other DJs too, because there's been a couple sets I've done, where I find a DJ who wants to, and basically just come on my stream, and just DJ for an hour, and just give me music to dance to for an hour, and then I have the DJ on the screen like in a VR chat world. And I'll have the camera on the DJ, and the DJ will just sit in the floor or sit next to me next to the deck, and I'll just dance on the decks next to them and just do that for an hour. And so it's just, you know, and that's the whole stream. Just basically, you know, I'm gonna do a dance set with this. Here's the DJ. Here's the DJ set, and just find random DJs, and maybe once a week. I was thinking about doing that like a weekly thing, so if I can find enough DJs to do that. You know, just a 1-hour stream. Nothing really big. I don't want it to be a big event. I don't want like 10 different DJs and a big. I mean, I just want like a, you know, more of an intimate thing. You know, this week's DJ is so and so. You know, they are known for here. They do this kind of genre typically. You know, they can pick the word, let you guys, you know, let the DJ pick what world they want to do it in, and then, you know, make a little dance video, a 1-hour dance video for them, have the set recorded in the stream, and, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh,
I'd like to do
so
that.
cool.
I've been sort of working on getting there.
It is a really cool idea. Like, I don't know, hot take. I think the clubbing community is growing a little bit stale. I think new things, new streaming opportunities, new forms of collaboration are really important. And I say this as someone being in various virtual nightclub communities for like 4 years. It's the same thing in every club all the time. And I'm not saying that it's not fun, but fresh ideas, fresh creative paths are always a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, how crazy it is sometimes. I mean, it's crazy sometimes when you go to like a club, like a Club Dark, for instance, their new Armory venue. Armory venue is amazing. And when you go there and actually see someone taking the time to build a really interactive venue with actual VJs and light artists, with dancers and pyrotechnics, that's a next level experience in VRChat.
It really is.
Every time I've been there, it's been amazing. And that's the kind of stuff that VRChat's dance scene really needs. Is more stuff like that, because it's like there's this tendency a lot of times in VRChat to want to replicate the real world in VR, and I think VR is so much more than that. I think the ability to have, you know, why don't we have a DJ deck on an asteroid flying through space, and you know that every time the audio links, the stars move and the stuff like that, and have the visualizer be the entire skybox, you know, or so. I mean, there's crazy stuff you could do. And it feels like it's really, everyone's got this, oh, it has to be a box with people dancing and a DJ behind a deck thing. It doesn't have to be that at all. In fact, it shouldn't be that. You can get that in real life. I come in here because I want to do stuff I can't get in real life. You know, it's like, and that's, sometimes it's nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are times it's nice to just go and sit and relax in a room and listen to a DJ, you know, but there's so much potential for a lot greater things.
I totes agree. I mean, the first time I actually had a conversation with you, we were at Rift, so yeah, like asteroid in space, visualizers in the sky, a magic rainbow.
And you can fly in there.
Yeah, you can
jump
fly.
In there and fly around while you're listening to music.
You can
That's
literally
amazing.
fly up. And yeah. I met you, like we had met before, but we had never really talked. And you were having a conversation with me as Alien from Alien.
Oh yeah, that was in the Xenomorph avatar.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's VRChat. That's the best. That's the best.
Because I was talking to you and I didn't have my mirror up, and I remember flipping my mirror up, thinking, "Oh my god, I was in my alien avatar." I remember after that thinking that, I didn't realize the whole time when I was talking to you, because I was dancing, just goofing around. Oh yeah, that's fun. It's like,
it was incredible.
But yeah,
Never
it's
forget
like,
that one.
I mean, there's times I've went to things where it's like just last night we were at Zinx or whatever dancing, and everyone had this like little anime avatar on. And they were like, and you can make it so you can clone people's avatar. And there were literally 10 of us in this avatar on the floor dancing in the exact same avatar and just, just jamming out. And it was hilarious. We were having a great time. We were laughing our asses off. I mean, dance doesn't always have to be this formal thing on a stage in a presentation. I mean, just things like that are what makes it really great. I mean, I find that dancing on the floor a lot of times is more rewarding than dancing up on the platform. I mean, there's a lot of times that I've just been dancing on the floor, and those are the times that where someone will walk up to me and say, "I really like your dancing," and those mean a lot to me because I'm not performing. There's no reason for that person to have to come and talk to me. There's no obligation, because there is an obligation a little bit when someone's performing to say good job. No matter how poor or good you think they were, it's part of the process. It's part of the standard flow of respect in an event. But when I'm dancing on the floor or something like that, and someone walks to me and says, "I really like your dancing," that's a whole nother level beyond being complimented dancing about a platform. That means someone actually was watching me dance on the floor and came over and said that they liked it, and that means a ton. And so what I go out of my way to do is, if I see other people dancing on the floor, I always walk up to people and I say, "Your dancing is amazing." I mean, and I'm always honest. If someone's just wiggling or whatever, I tend not to. But if someone's actually making an effort and like really trying to dance and is semi-competent, I will always compliment them. Because I know when I first started dancing, I had some really close friends who were super complimentary about everything I did. I know they were lying. They knew they were lying, but it's what kept me going. They were in stream all the time saying, it's like, "I love your dancing, I love your dancing." And I go back and watch my videos, and it was not dancing. It was not dancing. It was me doing this with like a thing in my hand and laughing my ass off, having a good time. But I was having fun doing it, and that's what mattered. And that fun and that passion that grew from that is what let me get to be the point where I feel like I'm actually a semi-competent dancer now. And so I always try to motivate that with other people. I always try, it's like I see anyone's doing a good job, just like the other night I saw someone, Aya, who I know vaguely, but I haven't talked to them. They're a phenomenal dancer. I walked up multiple times. I'm like, "I love your dancing. You were so good." I mean, and they're a good dancer, but they deserve so much more respect than they're getting. No one's up there talking to them. I mean, I don't know them at all, but they're an amazing dancer. And it's like, and they've got all the stuff that I'm missing. They have the footwork. They can spin around. They're wireless. I'm on a wire. I can only turn so far before I have to go back. So I mean, there's a lot of things that are limiting me to what I can do. And it's like, but seeing someone who's not limited and is probably 20 years younger than I am, and is actually passionate about dancing, it's like, sorry, I burped. On one hand, I love seeing it. On the other hand, makes me envious as fuck. I wish I would have started dancing 20 years ago, I see it like, I mean, that could have been me 20 years ago if I started dancing, but, for just social reasons and a lot of other stuff, I didn't, because I didn't really have the chance to or couldn't. And so there's some envy there. But it's like, on the other hand, it's like, I want to promote that, because it's like, if they're that good now and they're in their 20s and they keep going, they'll be like, someone who's starting in their dance in their 20s. I mean, if I was dancing like I am right now in my early 20s, I could probably have a career as a professional dancer in my early 30s easily, just from the practice and time and having what's it called, a video, what they call it, portfolio of my dancing. I could probably get a job dancing as a backup dancer or something for whatever, or whatever, just
so
a stage
cool.
dancer at a go-go club.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, so I always try to promote that stuff, because it's like, dance is one of those things. Everyone wants to do it. No one thinks they can do it, but everyone can. Everyone can dance. And the only catch on that is there are people who can't sense rhythm. I know they're out there, and just some people can't feel rhythm in music. But that's the singular requirement. If you can tap your foot to the beat of a song, you can dance. And I don't care how overweight you are, how out of shape you are, how, if you're disabled and you can only upper body dance, or whatever. If you can tap out a rhythm of music, you can dance, especially in VR. Because, I mean, you have the ability to use a play space mover. You can do that kind of stuff. There's half body things you can use. You can use flow toys. I mean, I've seen people just go up on stage with just flow toys and GPU particles and do amazing shows. Just amazing things with with their arms, and just light spectacles and trails. And I mean, it's a great space to be artistic and passionate and let out all that creativity that so many people just hold back because they think they're not good. And yeah.
Right? Two things. First off, I do expect some hard, cold criticism after tonight. Dancing.
Really?
Tear me to pieces. Tear me to pieces. The second is...
That's not lewd. Sorry, that's a bit rude.
Like cold hard criticism.
No, the other part. I'm not gonna say it again. The other part, but continue.
Wait, yeah.
The tear me to pieces part. I'm like, that's like
Oh.
some people write that kind of stuff. Oh my god. Oh, the girlfriend just gave their blessing.
Oh my god. Tries to be professional. This is what happens.
I'm blushing. Goodness. Anyhow.
Second thing is I love like speaking just of like unconventional dance spaces. Like I love so far full body experience so far. The couple times I have danced, I got really teeny and danced on the DJ deck, and
I've done that too. That is fun.
Yeah,
that is super
it's
fun. Especially
so
when
much
you
fun.
get 8 or 9 people out there dancing. It's really fun.
and you get
And
to
it's
be
cool because a lot of
goofy.
times people will come up and they stand there. Exactly. You can get up there goofy. No one. You're not such like when I dance, a lot of times I'm big because of people in back can see me, and there is a performance stress that comes with that, because that's like, you know, I'm always careful to perform well. I mean, and that's another thing I haven't really talked about. The other reason I stream and I dance at venues and stuff like that, and when I'm dancing, I don't dance when I'm off stream or not in VR. I don't dance. I might dance a little bit when I'm cleaning and stuff like that, but I'm not just at home dancing. And for me, I don't dance when I'm not doing it because I half-ass it, and I don't
okay.
ever want to half-ass dancing. So without an audience, I don't perform well. And so for me, having the audience, whether it's just 2 or 3 people in a venue or 5 or 6 people on stream, that's enough for me that when a song starts and I'm sort of getting into it, but then I don't really feel it, to not just stop the song and go to the next song. Because if I'm at home with no one watching, I would do that. But because I know someone's watching and someone might like that song, or that's their song they request or whatever, I will dance to that song. And forcing myself to do that is what has taught me to dance to all kinds of different genres of music and different styles of music, and maybe just to, you know, maybe to, you know, find beauty or something in that song that I didn't hear that started when it started. Because a lot of times there's songs, I've done songs that, you know, the first minute and a half I just couldn't get into, but the last 2 or 3 minutes of that song are like the best thing I've heard like in a month. And I would have missed that because, you know, I would at home if I would start listening, I'm like, I don't like this next song. But because I'm on stream or I'm in the venue dancing, I'm going to hear the whole song, and, you know, I don't have a choice. And so I pressure myself to not have a choice. And not having that choice makes me try harder and makes me forces me to actually, you know, perform. I gotta close my window a second, I'm freezing. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
But yes, but yeah, I think having that pressure is super important. And I think more people should use that. I think that's like you were just saying, you want to get small and not be seen, because that is nice. There's a freedom in that. But I think also just getting up on stage and knowing that people are watching you, it doesn't have to be stressful. It can be motivating. It can be you being up there and trying harder than you normally would. And it's easy because it's easy to give up. It's easy to not care about your presentation and what you look like, because when I dance all the time, I either have a camera on me or my mirror up, because I watch myself dance. I want to know what the person is seeing. And so plus I'm also watching my tracking, because tracking is glitchy sometimes, and I don't want to be dancing with my foot sticking up behind my head. And so that's a lot of times I do that. And so I think it's important to have that audience, to have, you know, someone watching you, even if, and a lot of times I'll have, like, if I'm warming up for lap dancing or stuff like that, or warming up to go dance, I'll just ask a friend. I'll invite a friend just to come and sit in the venue with me and watch, because even with a singular friend there watching, I feel the need to perform well. Mm-hmm. And especially when if I'm performing for you, you know, when we're dancing on the thing like that, I might not like every song you play, but I'm going to push myself hard because I feel a responsibility to do a good job because you asked me to be there. So also when I ask a friend to come watch, I mean, I feel like, you know, they're there because I asked them to come, but they were kind enough to show up. And so I feel, at least if I'm going to, you know, I'm going to perform well and give them a little bit of a show while I'm dancing. So it pushes me to be better, I guess, is the best thing I'm trying to say. Aww. And it's like, I think people should take advantage of that. I think I found it as one of my strongest motivators, honestly, of everything I do. But that's because that's an external validation thing again. It's like, it's very important to me. And it's like, as much as everybody says external validation shouldn't be your singular motivator, I think for a lot of performers it is.
Oh, yeah, I'm very open about it. I like attention. That's why
I do too.
It's one of the major motivators for me. Like, you have to at some level, and if you're saying you don't, I think you're lying to yourself. because like it takes a lot to get up and do things in front of a lot of people and put in the hard work to make people enjoy it. Like we as DJs, we got the same thing. Like when I get up there, I want to do a good job. I make one mistake and I'm like thanking myself for being behind a VR headset because I am cringe faced the entire time. I'm like
It's funny, I can tell some DJs, especially DJs in full body. I've seen multiple DJs in full body. You hear they're going to do like the crossover between the songs, and they're trying to get the beat sync right, and it's not quite right. And you can hear the two songs; they're a little like tick, 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 tick. They're not lining up quite right. And then somehow the other song would just like one song will just cut out by accident. It just goes away, and there's dead air for like a second or two, and then the other song pops in. And it's like whatever button press didn't happen right, and you can just see the DJ behind the deck do this gesture. They're like,
I think I just.
You can just.
No.
But there's this whole like you can see the dejection in their body. They've got that whole thing. Oh, careful when your camera's not on global. Put your camera on world. Click on your camera and click on world. It's on local because when you turn, the camera turns.
Ah.
If you put it on world, it's in I don't know what that menu tab is called.
World.
Anchor world. Put it on world there. Now when you turn, it won't turn.
Awesome.
It was turning
and
with you.
Also.
Here,
Right at the end, I have to get up and.
Of course.
This is good cinematography, okay?
Yeah. Wait, we gotta. Should we exit the channel like this also? Should be the end of it. Also, we do this. Bye, everyone.
Bye. You gotta get your arm janky like this though.
Oh wait, I can do that. I can do that. Let me turn my tracker here. Wait. There we go. There. Bye, everyone. Welcome to VR. I hope you had a good time. Is that good? Is this what you're looking for?
Hold on. Give me a sec. I'm like scrambling to do. I think I'm marginally better. I have to fix the chest thing though. I'm having a hard time with this particular area altogether.
I'm seeing that. You're sitting like this. That's you like this. Like yes. I have breasts. Gaze upon them. Is the posture you're standing with? Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'm back.
Welcome back.
So there's one thing I wanted to bring up earlier, but totally forgot.
Okay.
You were talking about doing like slow movement dancing.
Yes.
And when I was going through the clip of us at Amaterasu and FF, the reason why I picked that particular clip that I sent you was that I was playing some dubstep with hip hop, and like your hip hop dancing was just so badass. It was slow and calculated,
but I'm telling you, that's the vibe. It's like that power vibe, and the key is to look intimidating and look because it's all about arrogance. Most of the songs are about arrogance and pride, and don't mess with me. And it's just just you try to give off that body language, and it's like it's awesome.
It was good. It was really, really good.
I really enjoy it.
I imagine we're getting close to time, so I just want to maybe hit the outro. Like you're gonna go live soon, right?
Yeah, I'll go live as soon as you say you're done. I'll just go live, and then
awesome.
Take me like a minute or so to start stream up.
Okay, so friends, thank you so much for coming out tonight and seeing this stream, participating and saying goofy things in chat, and for some of the questions that you asked tonight. Thank you, Njna, for like agreeing to do this. Sorry, you're talking.
That's you caught you off guard. Didn't see that coming. Continue.
You're killing me.
Sorry.
Thank you for coming and agreeing to be the first interview participant for the relaunch of this. Yeah, me too.
I always have fun talking to you. You're always wonderful to talk to.
Likewise. You're about to like literally scare the shit out of me tonight and put me into very uncomfortable ground.
No, we'll be good.
Otter, she's in a fluster. It's like, it's like
you don't say.
I wanted to say again, we're doing a collab on Saturday for Transfest in Final Fantasy 14. Really, really excited to get to work with you again. Like it's always amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I always have fun.
So stay tuned if you're in Final Fantasy or not. I'll be streaming, so you'll get to see Njna dance
off camera. You can talk for a minute, and I will wave to you when I get stream set up. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Bye, everyone.